Hi, and welcome to Shadowcast. We are Clalvin and the Chip-munks, and this is our game. The aim of the game? Match the shadow to the outline on the wall. You can do this by rotating the object in various directions X, Y, or Z axis, as well as being able to move it closer or further away.
The music was an original composition done by me. I used a free production software called BandLab and created this original piece, which was heavily inspired by the soundtrack of Minecraft. In my composition, I wanted to add substance to the game and leave a memorable tune. When you first spawn into the game, you start in exploration mode, where your character is able to walk around the room that they're in using the classic W, A, S, and D keys. When in this mode, there is a third-person camera angle that follows the character as they walk to the room. In this room, there are three light sources. Coming from the two torches on each side of the room, these are two point lights to add more depth to the room, and the directional spotlight that is the backlight for the puzzle object, illuminating the object and casting a shadow. You are then able to go to the pillar and click E on your keyboard to enter the puzzle game mode. Here, the player needs to rotate the puzzle piece to match the piece's shadow to the silhouette on the wall. This is done using W and S to rotate about the X-axis, A and D to rotate about the Y-axis, Q and E to rotate about the Z-axis, as well as R and F to move the object closer to and further away from the wall. When in the puzzle game mode, there is a free floating camera that the user can adjust to best help them solve the puzzle. This can be done by clicking and dragging with the mouse and zooming in and out using the scroll wheel. You will also notice, as the player runs out of time, the spotlight slowly fades and the shadow begins to disappear. This gives the player a sense of urgency in order to complete the puzzle.
The 3D models that can be found and interacted with in our game, such as the player, the lighting fixture on the wall, and the objects that you actually rotate to cast shadows, were all designed in Blender. We then extracted and exported them from Blender into a GLB file format and used them as the model assets in our game.
So as you can see in our game on our side panel here, we have pause menu, escape. So you can click escape to go to your pause menu, or you can click this menu button on the top right. So when you come to our pause menu, you can see resume game, which will leave you exactly where you left off during the game. You have level select, which you can only select from levels that you've previously finished and completed. And we have exit to main menu, progress will be lost. We have settings, which you can turn the music on and off. We have music volume, you can adjust the sound of all the music. And we have sound effects volume, you can also adjust the sound of sound effects. And a sound effect that we've got, or an example of one of them, is the clapping after completing a level.
When designing a game, you really want the theme and styling to match the general gameplay so that what the player feels visually reflects what they're doing throughout the game. So for Shadowcast, we went with a almost cinematic and mysterious theme, something that captures the contrast between light and darkness, because that's what the whole gameplay ultimately revolves around. In the game, you're literally manipulating light and shadow, so everything from the dark background and glowing amber text to the soft lighting on buttons and menus is meant to feel like light breaking through darkness. In the game, you'll see the title glow softly. The pause and victory screens have subtle warm gradient and blurred glass effect, and even the buttons highlight with a golden shimmer when hovered. All those touches create the same atmosphere of focus and illumination. You're not just solving shadow puzzles, the entire game world looks and feels like one universe.
As stated before, as time runs out, the light slowly fades. And as each level progresses, the time you have to complete it gets shorter and shorter. However, should you fail a level, you are given the option to restart that level or exit to main menu. Please sit tight and continue to enjoy our game.
Once you click the credits button, you're taken to the credits page, which maintains the same theme and visual styling as the rest of the game, and as you can see, is divided into a few clear sections. The first lists all of the developers and their student numbers, so everyone who contributed to the game, while the second shows the main technologies used to build the game, such as 3.js and Blender. Below that, there's an asset section, which gives credit to the creators of the 3D models and audio used in the project. The layout is simple and clean, and at the bottom, we have a back menu, which lets you return to the main menu.
And the game is complete. Thank you for staying and watching. We hope you enjoyed this as much as we enjoyed making this game.